Hello and welcome to £100 and Counting. My name is Sarah and I'm on a journey to lose £100 with Slimming World. In today's video, I'm going to make Hunters Chicken Lasagna. This is a Slimming World friendly recipe, comes in around 600 calories. If you are following Slimming World, you'd be using one of your healthy extras for this and 1.5 Swips. At the end of the video, I will share a summary of the full macros, including protein and carbs, for anybody who's following that. The version I'm making today serves 3, but you could multiply or reduce the ingredients that are here to make more or less. Unfortunately, because I am using yogurt today, it won't freeze well, but it will keep overnight for reheating leftovers just for the next day, which is what I'll be doing with my spare portion. I've just set the oven to preheat to 190 degrees C, and that's a fan oven. If you were using gas, that would be gas mark 5, and in Fahrenheit, that's 375. Whilst the oven's preheating, let's take a look at the ingredients we'll be using today. So to start with, I have got about 400 grams of chicken thighs, which I have just diced up roughly into kind of bite-sized pieces ready to cook. I've got 3 bacon medallions, similarly just chopped up ready to cook. I've got a medium-sized onion that's chopped quite finely, 1 red pepper cut into thin strips. I've got 150 grams of fat-free Greek yogurt, 500 grams of passata. I have grated 210 grams of reduced fat mozzarella. The reason I've chosen for 210 grams specifically is because on the Slimming World plan, 70 grams of reduced fat mozzarella is 1 healthy extra. So to make the most of that, and this making 3 portions, I've taken 70 times 3 to get to 210 grams. So we've got a full healthy extra portion for each. We have a generous tablespoon of crushed oregano that I've roughly chopped. Half a tablespoon of dried oregano is a perfectly good substitute for that. I've got 2 garlic cloves which have been crushed. We've got 3 tablespoons of barbecue sauce, essential for Hunters Chicken. The one I'm specifically using is Marks and Spencer's house barbecue sauce. That's 1 Swip per tablespoon for you Slimming World people. As I say, 3 tablespoons there. So we'll be using dried lasagna sheets. I'm expecting to use 6 today. We'll want to add some chicken stock, like a concentrated chicken stock. So a stock pot or a stock cube will be perfect. I'm using a powdered chicken bouillon, so I'll be using a tablespoon of that instead. We will be seasoning with some extra paprika. Now any of the paprikas will be suitable for this. I happen to be using the sweet paprika as it's what I've got in, and I'll be using just a 1/4 teaspoon of this. You could use the smoked paprika or just the regular paprika, that is fine, whatever you have. The only other item I haven't yet mentioned is just some garlic pepper, which I will be using to just flavour the Greek yogurt a bit, and we'll see how I do that a little later. Actually, scratch that, there's one more ingredient that I will be using. I always forget to mention this. It's the spray oil. So if you're using Frylight, you don't need to add any Swips to the count if you're on Slimming World for this meal. But I use the Filippo Berro mild and light in colour. So 7 sprays is half a Swip. I'm expecting to use kind of like 3 sets of it for the 3 portions. So I have added half a Swip to the overall count because of that, but you can leave that out, of course. And so that is all the ingredients we're going to be using. We're going to start with the frying pan, so I'm just going to set that up and get it on a medium heat, and then we'll start cooking. So we're ready to start cooking. I'm going to take my first set of spray oils just to line the pan. And we're going to start with frying the onions and the peppers. We're going to give this around 5 minutes. I'll just be keeping a close eye on it, keeping it moving. Main point here is just to get these onions nice and softened. So they've had 5 minutes and everything is just as I'd like. So I'm going to now go in with the chicken and the bacon. I've turned the heat up slightly. We're not looking to cook the bacon through at this stage. There's plenty more cooking process for it to cook all the way through. We are really just looking to make sure it browns up a little bit. So for that reason, I'm also going to add a little bit more of the spray oil. Did allow myself 3 sets of that for this meal, with it being 3 portions. So we've still got some room to go for that. So that's had 4 minutes now or so, and that's plenty just to get it going. We're not looking to cook it all the way through, as I say. We are got some simmering time yet, in which it's going to have plenty of time to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the garlic, and I'm going to add in the seasonings as well that we are putting in. So I'm just going to stir the garlic through. We don't need to cook it long with the garlic in it before we move to the next step. Just want to get that nice and fragrant, which the oregano will certainly help with that. So that's in as well. And the paprika. So just a 1/4 teaspoon of the paprika. If I can figure out how to open it. There we are. Live TV, hey? It's not quite live, but anyway. Right, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika to just sprinkle in. You could put more paprika in than this. My other half isn't a fan of spice, even though I always say paprika is not a spicy spice. But that's why I err on the side of caution anyway. But yeah, you could easily double that and go to 1/2 teaspoon for this. All right, so we're just giving this another 30 seconds just for that garlic to kind of infuse with everything. And then we'll be putting our liquids in and just simmering this for a while. All right, so we're going to be using the passata here, the barbecue sauce, and we have 200 mils of hot water. I'm actually not sure if I mentioned that in the ingredients, but there will be a full list of the ingredients and the step-by-step guide in the description. For you, that might be easier to follow if you're trying this at home. So we can do this now. So we're going to go ahead with the passata. This is just a 500 mil, should say 500 gram. I think that's about the same anyway. But a 500 gram carton, 200 mils of water, and the barbecue sauce. Actually scoop that out. I have a silicone spoon that I'm using here, which makes it really easy just to get everything out of the little containers I've stored everything in. So yeah, so once all that's in, just give it a stir. And we're going to just want to get this to a simmer, and then just have it on like a medium-low heat for about 20 minutes. During that time, I'll stir it occasionally just to make sure it's not sticking. We should see that the liquid in there reduces by about 1/3, and then it'll be ready. So this has just been on for a minute, and I realised I'd forgotten to put the stock powder in. So I'm just going to add that in now. You really just should have done it when the liquids were going in, but it won't do it any harm. So just a tablespoon for the powder that I'm using. But as I say, a stock pot or a stock cube in this, that'll be plenty. There's lots of flavour going into this. You may have noticed I've not actually seasoned anything with salt. I will check for that at the end, and that's really because I am using stock, and there's bacon in here as well. So we'll check to see if it actually needs any additional salt as well before we make the lasagna up. So the chicken and the sauce is now ready to be turned into a lasagna. Just before we do that, I'm going to season the Greek yogurt with some garlic pepper. If you don't have garlic pepper specifically, you could just do this with some garlic granules and some black pepper. If that's a day, would do just fine. But I'm going to go with 1/2 teaspoon and just give that a stir through. This isn't essential, but I don't think it will do any harm to the flavour at all. Okay, that's ready. I am also actually just going to taste the sauce in case it does need any salt or pepper adding. Will be red hot, so I'll just be careful. It's really nice. I don't think it needs any salt, but I am going to pop some pepper in. In fact, I'm going to pop some garlic pepper in. Just sprinkle a bit here. Maybe only half a teaspoon's worth in that. And I think that will do nicely. So we're now ready to layer up the lasagna. So I'm using a square Pyrex glass bowl, which is oven safe, of course. It's 9 squared, and that I love this for lasagna. It makes it just so easy because 2 lasagna sheets fit perfectly side by side. There's no squabbling over what fits where. So we'll get ahead with that nice and easy. So I'm going to use around 3 layers I'm expecting to make here. So about 1/3 of the mixture can go straight into the tub, which will allow us just to cover the bottom completely. A little bit more. There. Okay. Let's get that all even. All right, so then I'm going to pop across the 2 lasagna sheets. I'm going to take around 1/4 of the yogurt and spread that across those lasagna sheets. Going to be about 1 tablespoon on each on top of each sheet. And I'm also going to be including in each layer some of the mozzarella cheese that we have grated. So this is fresh mozzarella cheese grated, so it has a lot more moisture in it than if you buy the bagged stuff. And also on the Slimming World plan, you actually get to have more if you have fresh in the healthy extra allowance than if you actually have the bagged stuff. And I think that's probably because of things like the potato starch that goes into the bagged. So you're allowed 70 grams anyway of the reduced fat fresh grated mozzarella. So going to sprinkle some right through. I will be wanting to save most of it to go on the top, but we're going to put some in each layer. And if you don't already make lasagna by putting cheese in the middle, then you're missing a trick completely. So once that's on, just press that down. And we're going to repeat that 3 times. So another layer of the chicken, some more lasagna, yogurt and cheese until we finish topping the very top. So I'm just about to put the top layer on, and I'm actually going to increase the amount of the Greek yogurt that I'm using by just about another 1/4, about another 50 grams. So what was 150 grams is now going to be recommended as 200 grams, and that's what you'll find in the description. So I'm just going to pop this in here. Yeah, that's plenty. Just a little bit more of that seasoning. Mix it up, and we'll finish topping it off now. Something that can work quite well instead of Greek yogurt on here is also quark. I'm just not a big fan of it, but it does work perfectly well if you like it. And it's also Swip free for you Slimming World people. You know, I don't forget you. Okay, and then the last of the mozzarella can all go on top. Plenty of that left. That can get nice and melty. And that's that, ready to go in the oven. We're going to cover it in foil and give it 30 minutes. And then we're going to take the foil off, give it another 15 minutes just to brown up on the top. And then it should be ready to go. So let's get it in the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like when I take the foil off, and then we'll see it again at the end. So let's just take a look without the foil on. Comes off nice and easy. All right. Yeah. Okay. This just wants to brown up now. Just checking with a fork. And I can get that through the lasagna sheets. It still needs a little bit more cooking, but it's going to have another 15 minutes in the oven now. Just to finish off and, as I say, brown up on the top. So, red hot and straight out of the oven. It looks really good. So just going to slice this up into its 3 portions. Yeah, it's definitely cooked really nicely. The knife is just going straight through the pasta. And it's so hot, I'm going to let it rest for just a few minutes before taking it out of its pot. And just leaving it for a few minutes to have rested, it is now ready to serve. So let's get a portion onto a plate. I've got a plate ready with a little side salad here already made up. So we're going to take out a third of it. Oh, just comes out perfectly. Fantastic. There we are. Easy as that. So, well, this is my dinner. So I'm going to give it a little taste here for you first, just to make sure that is will give you a clue. It's still very hot, of course. Brilliant. Really tasty. Okay, so I'm really hungry. So yes, dinner is served. I will be eating this right now. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed my dinner, and I think if you were to make this, you would be enjoying it too. I'll be back next week with another slimming friendly recipe, so be sure to like and subscribe if you don't want to miss it. If you'd like to learn more about my weight loss journey, you can find my weight loss diaries on the channel, and I update that every Sunday. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.